G'day guys, how's it going? This is Broadcasting Because, back with the Fremantle Dockers AFL Live Season Mode, and today we are back at home coming up against the Carlton Blues, and we are fielding an unchanged lineup after a very convincing win over the Melbourne Demons in the last match we played. I was very happy with that performance, so I didn't see the need to change anything in the side. Now, the danger about coming up against Carlton is you never know what to expect. We haven't really been challenged too much since we played the Richmond game and actually went down to them a couple of rounds ago. So I was expecting a contest from Carlton this week, and that is exactly what they brought us in the opening stages of the game. Chris Judd was dynamic in the midfield. He got a lot of possessions early on in this match, and Heath Scotland slotted their first goal of the afternoon. Now, Carlton are one of those sides that you cannot underestimate, and you can't let them get away from you, because they've got the players that can tear you to shreds. They've got Chris Judd, they've got Murphy, they've got Eddie Betts, Yaron, all those guys who are great players, and if you let them fire, then they will pretty much take the match away from you. And we started off okay early on. Ryan Crowley was left on his own. Matthew Pavage hit the post earlier on, but finally Crowley slots our first goal with 5 minutes played to give us an early lead. So we give away a free kick. Now this really annoys me. Look at the space the Carlton players are in. There was nothing I could do. They got the free kick, just bombed it forward, and all of a sudden Henderson finds himself with about 10-15 metres of open paddock, walks in and slots Carlton's second goal for the night. It just annoys me a bit that the defenders didn't switch on to either mark the man or at least get goal side of them so we could try and give a chase. Unfortunately not, and they were able to snatch the lead back in the early stages of this game, Carlton, but we needed to hit back. Aaron Stallions, who's been up and down in the ruck contest, to be honest, of late. He hasn't been winning as many as I would have liked. He's been a lot better off the field ruckages than the tap-outs, I think. But anyway, we're able to get a breakaway here with a lovely handball under pressure to Anthony Morabito from Sandilands, who waltzes to about 45 metres out. Pavles lets it sail over his head, and Morabito gets our second goal of the game. His first in a little while, I think. I don't think he's scored in a couple of games, but trust Carlton to hit straight back. Matty Cruiser takes a nice contested mark about 30 metres out, dead in front, and he's not going to miss from there. It was a very even contest. The midfield battle was actually quite interesting to watch, but our defence did struggle when they just bombed it quickly into the 50, because they did have the pace. The guys like Betts and Yaron, and Cruiser was marking well in there as well. And he gives the ball off to Sandilands there, and just before quarter time we're able to get one back to give us in bit of a sniff early on, because Carlton were playing very well to their credit. I expected them to come at us, and they did. They held a 4-point lead going into quarter time. 4 goals straight to 3 goals too. Well, after a slow start in the first quarter, we had to get off to a good start in the second one, and Jack Anthony made sure of that. He snapped a lovely goal over his shoulder for his first of the night. Nick Subban getting first to this contest, laying the tackle. Kepler Bradley turns onto his left, decides to take it with his right. I'm not so sure what's happening with Kepler Bradley. He hasn't quite got his kicking boots on, and Brad Johnson signals the behind. But we didn't have to wait long for our next opportunity on goal. Carlton chips short from the kick out to Andrew Carazzo, and what is he doing? Snapping it straight out of bounds on the full. Adam McPhee takes it, and from about a 70-degree angle, that is an excellent effort to find the big sticks. A great goal to Adam McPhee, and look at the numbers we've got in the midfield. It was a 3-on-none then. Subban runs into the forward 50 through a gap and earns himself a push in the back free kick. He decides to line up. No, he doesn't. He gives off to Adam McPhee unselfishly, who just kicked the goal a few minutes earlier, and he kicks his second as well. Easy as you like for the Dockers at the moment. We've got a 16-point lead, and Carlton have not yet scored this quarter, mind you. Then it's Kepler Bradley who finds himself on the end of a ball towards the centre square, the goal square I should say, and he kicks yet another goal for the Dockers. And have a look at this. It's just so easy for us at the moment. Jay Van Berlo waltzes into the forward 50 and kicks the goal. Carlton's defence has just imploded at this point. Take a look at that specky from Greg Broughton as well. That is spectacular for sure. He just climbs over the Carlton attackers and finds the ball in his mitts. I don't really know what happened there. I think the ball was smothered, but it somehow spills over to Matthew Pavage, who kicks another goal for the Dockers. We've kicked 5 unanswered goals in this quarter, and Jay Van Berlo, a great mark, contested mark, coming off the Carlton kick out. Unfortunately, nothing came from it, but we do go into half-time with a massive 5-goal, 5 lead. a 35-point lead over Carlton, who did not even score that quarter. Our defence tightened up and our midfield really started to perform, and we kept them out very nicely. Well, in contrast to the first and second quarters, after Lucas kicked their first goal, nothing happened for about 10 straight minutes. You have to go to the 12th minute mark played when they just kick short out of a kick into Kepler Bradley, who's making a lead, and then he misses. What is going on? That was not a highlight, that's for sure. They kick out again in very similar fashion. Chris Mayne is there to take the mark, and this time he finds the big sticks to make them pay. Carlton have just absolutely capitulated in all areas of the field. I do not know what's happened since quarter time. They just haven't had anything over us. Look at that from Anthony Morabito. He's able to run from pretty much the centre square into the 50, penetrating their defensive line, and finds the big sticks. And at three-quarter time, after a pretty uneventful quarter, we have an enormous 49-point lead. 49-point lead, sorry, and that is pretty much insurmountable from there, I think. We kicked the first goal of the fourth as well, with Pav finding himself dead in front, and I just don't know what happened to Carlton. They were matching us very well in the first quarter, and even in the second quarter, there were signs that they were still in the game, but at this point, I couldn't explain it. They just had nothing over us. Whatsoever. Somehow, we kick it behind there as well, which probably should have been a goal. Pavlich is standing there. He's got two men on him, but he's still able to muscle his way through, take the contested mark, and kick the goal. Look at the margin with still 8 minutes to play. It is 54-point margin to the Dockers. They finally get a mark inside the 50 to Jared Waite, and he's able to finally get a goal back for Carlton. It was a bit disappointing that we got out to this sort of a lead, to be honest, because they looked like they'd actually bring it to us in the first quarter, and I really did sort of want a good game. Chris May probably shouldn't have gone for goal. That was just a kick to nowhere, but nevertheless, Sandons makes up for it and kicks the goal himself. What are you doing? Seriously, why are you kicking in front of the face of goal, across the face, about 15 metres out? The decisions of Carlton are just, wow, inexplainable at the moment, but right on the siren, Tendai Mzungu kicks his first goal for the night, and the final margin, 63 points to the Dockers at home, despite being behind at quarter time. Some great stats to our on-ballers. The only bad thing to come out of that match was Stephen Hill has actually picked up an injury. I think it was a calf injury. There's no way of checking, I don't think so. But it's some sort of injury there, and he will be out for 2 games, which is a big loss. He hasn't been too effective recently, but he did have a good game then, and it's always important to have some run on the wing, so that is a big loss for the Dockers, and a disappointing one that we'll have to try and do without him. My man of the match this week was Anthony Morabito. I thought the run that he provided off the wings and when he drifted inside to the centre as well was absolutely deadly, and particularly early in the game he really tore Carlton apart. His tackling efforts weren't too bad either. His final stats were 10 touches, 2 goals, 6 tackles, and 5 marks as well. He had a very nice game from the young man, and is definitely fast becoming a big part of our side with his run off the wing and his lovely ball use as well. It was a good team performance, and to be honest, there weren't too many amazing goals. The goal of the round this week, I decided to go with the Adam McPhee goal, hugging the boundary line and slotting it from a very difficult angle. Might not be too spectacular, but from a tight angle when we did need it to push us forward in the second quarter, I thought it was a great goal under pressure. Well done, Adam McPhee. Well, that is the end of this round's match, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. It was a very good win to the Fremantle Dockers. Please do consider leaving a like on this video if you did enjoy it. You can click on the screen as well to take you back to the match selection screen, which has got all the matches that have been played so far, as well as the fixture for the rest of the season as we rush towards the finals. Cheers, guys, and stay tuned.